Not quoting scriptures up here because it's fancy. Don't you see where I got it? So when you put them together, you ought to come up with the same thing I did. And if you didn't, you got to say something. Paul said you do. Those things that are good, you got to cling to them. You got to hold on to them. Things you prove, you got to hold on to them. The things that are not, you got to abstain from it. You got to let them go. You got to let them go. So when we begin to look at the spiritual things that we desire to be closer to the Lord and honor and glorify Him with our lives, do we not? We want to be honorable to God. We want to be reverencing God. We want to glorify God the way He said. We talked in Bible class this morning about worshiping God in spirit and in truth. That's knowing His Word and knowing how He's revealed Himself, His true nature. How can I get that without His Word? I can't. I cannot. So I want you, as you think about this passage, I use the core as a text of this: in everything give thanks. Challenge yourself to do that this week. And going into a new year, that you live 2010 differently than 2009 because you're following these instructions, these final commands. I hope you've outlined them in your Bible and highlighted them or whatever else you do to study, but that you remember these things that Paul said. I believe if we just did these, that'd be enough. Just these. Just these. If you just followed as a Christian, if your second teaching was only verse 12 through verse 22, you'd do all right. I think you would. You'd be a solid Christian. You'd be strong in the Word. If you just did those. This gives us everything we need right there. And Paul needed to give that to the Thessalonican church, see, because they were kind of tossed to and fro by every wind of doctrine. Somebody came in and told them, you know, if you die before Jesus comes, you just ain't going to make it to heaven. They got scared. They never searched the scriptures like the Bereans to see if that was true or not. They just believed it. That's why Paul said, you know what, I'm not going to have y'all ignorant about those that fall asleep. Because I want you to know the truth about that. And this is what he wants for us today. He wants us to know the truth about it. To truly be students of his word and delight in the laws of the Lord, meditating on them day and night. Being like a tree planted by the rivers of water, whose leaves don't wither. That's the way he wants us to be found. And that way is being found in faith. The lesson is yours. If you are here today and you have not heeded this final instruction of Paul to the Thessalonican church, that you've been a little negligent in this, you need the prayers of the saints. We need to pray more together because we can all be better at things that we're doing. And the whole idea is to get better. If we don't get better, we're wasting our time. What good is this fellowship if we can't rely on each other to pray, to share, to encourage? That's what we're designed to do. And all of these must-dos that Paul gave us are critical to your Christian survival. Because without it, we'll be lost. So if you're here today and you need the encouragement and the prayers of the saints, I encourage you to come forward. If you have sinned, you need to confess.